Health IQ Podcast, tapping into nature's pharmacy. The truth about essential oils.
Welcome back to Health IQ Podcast. I am Brenda Bishop, your host. We will be exploring an alternative to traditional pain medication and other health issues today. Our crew is Bobby Hockaday, and joining me at the table is Joyce Runyan, and she's also serving as crew. Several months ago, we were doing an episode about anxiety busters, and you had brought some of your essential oils and talked about how you use those to reduce stress. And I got to thinking about how you use oils for many things.
Yes,
and we needed to have a whole thing on oils. So thank you for agreeing to do a whole episode on oils. And I just want to start by asking you how you got interested in these oils.
So I had a friend, and I've been using oils probably between 7 and 10 years. And my husband hurt his back, and he was in a lot of pain. Of course, it's always on the weekend when you can't go see anybody. And we had tried, pills to relieve pain. We'd done the ice packs. We'd done the heat packs. We'd done the patches that you're supposed to put on. And he was in extreme pain and he couldn't move. And so I called up my friend and I said, because he'd been wanting me to try these. And I was just I was hesitant. I was just like, really, an oil is going to help me? I don't know. So I called him and I said, hey, this is my issue. Do you have anything that might help? And so he said, oh, yeah, sure. You could try. I think there was Copaiba was one. Valor was probably another one. He gave me a list of oils and he said, come by and I'll give you some oil and you can try it and see how it helps him. And I was like, okay, I'll be right over. And so I went over and I got it and I went home and I applied it and I did it in an order because there was more than one oil. And he had immediate relief. Immediate relief. We'd been doing stuff all weekend and no relief. And I put these oils on and he immediately felt better. So I called him back and I said, okay, I'm in on this oil stuff. And that's how it started. And so for me, I was an abuser of over-the-counter pain medication for a really long time, which is bad for your liver. I would take Tylenol like 2, 3, 4 at a time, always. I don't feel good, I'm going to take this much. And then, I'd feel better and then it would last me a longer time. And so I did that with acetaminophen for a while. And then, of course, they put out the warning, oh, this can hurt your liver. So then I was like, oh, okay, then I'll switch to the other one, ibuprofen. And so then I was using ibuprofen for a while, but it was excessive use. And I'm sure it was damaging my liver function, which is huge for your whole systems. And so then I was like, well, what can I use for my back? And I used Raven and Valor, and they're both blends. And like after a hard day where we were having to haul things and pack things in and out, and I would go and my husband would put those on my back and I would feel better. And I would feel better faster. It wasn't like I was having to take pills and wait for it. And then I got to do it where I was like doing it proactively. Well, I know today I'm going to be doing all these things. So let's start and put oils on me. And now I really don't have a lot of issues with my back like I used to.
That's great.
So, yeah.
So it's sort of a success story.
It is. It's a good thing. And that's one of the things that's worked for me with the oils. And we've had lots. There's just been lots of things that we use the oils for because it's a success. It works for us.
So just to give people sort of more information, what exactly are essential oils?
So most of these are plant-based. Frankincense is a resin, so that's a little bit different. And you want to make sure when you're getting these that the way they're distilled is done in a friendly way towards that plant. Like we have cold-pressed olive oil. We want to make sure that the plant material that's being processed is being processed in a way that enhances what's being released instead of deteriorating it. So if it was a high heat distillation, that could damage the oil and it may not be as effective. those high heat ways of processing them also help reduce the cost. So it's kind of like, maybe it's a little bit less, but it's also probably a little bit less effective. You also want to make sure that, like I use Young Living oils, and they are expensive, but I know where all of the items are farmed. They have their own farms. So that means they're producing it without pesticides, which I don't want to be taking into my body either. They're distilling it in a way that's going to be giving me the optimum value of the plant material that they have. And they also they test it to make sure that everything's supposed to be in that oil. And so those are the assurances I have with these oils, and that's why I purchase them.
So how do you tell if something's been cold pressed? Does it say on the bottle?
It should say. You should be able to find out information. You know, it's consumer savvy. Like when we go to the grocery store and we look at labels, I want to know what's in here. Like with lavender, you want it to be lavender oil and not lavadin, which is not really quite the same. They'll smell similar, but it's not the same quality as the one. And the other thing is when you're using these processes, it takes a lot more of the plant material. And that's probably why it's a little bit more expensive too, because it takes more to get the substance out of it, to get the oils out you need.
So your bottles are mostly just oil, but sometimes when you buy them at the store, they're mixed with other stuff too.
They could be mixed with other oils. So what is in my bottle, like in this tangerine here, it's only tangerine oil. And I know it's only tangerine oil. But if I was to go somewhere else and buy tangerine oil, and it was really inexpensive, I would think this has been cut with some other type of oil. And it will be 100% oil, but it may not be 100% tangerine oil. So, and I know that there are some other oils out there that are less expensive, and I really haven't investigated any of them because I'm really happy with what I have.
So I would assume that since it's pure oil, it would go a little further in per bottle of that size.
Yeah.
As opposed to something that was already mixed in a bottle.
Yeah.
So you talked about using it for pain for your back and those kinds of things. And I can remember years ago, my husband was having an issue with his shoulder, and we were at some 4-H thing.
Yeah.
And some mom had a bottle of something that she mixed up and kept with her, and she rolled on that, and that really helped. But it was a type of essential oils. I don't remember
what the mixture was.
But the mixture was.
And that's something else you can do with them as well. So I don't know everything about oils, but I have my books. So I've got this one on essential oils, and I can look up an issue, and it'll say, okay, these are what we recommend. And it'll recommend single oils for me. It'll recommend blends for me and say, try these things. The other thing with the oils is that you can use them for several different things, and you may have to switch them to keep getting that effect, because your body may say, oh, you've used this enough and that receptor's full. And so if you try another one in that family or the similar to it, it may then take over where the other one has stopped working.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So we've talked about pain, and previously we had talked about stress, but oils help with many things. So you want to talk about some of the other health issues that helps with?
So digestively, this is my first aid kit that I usually carry with me everywhere I go. And one of the things that I carry in here all the time, well, I carry lavender, because lavender is good for anything skin. So if I get a bug bite, if I have a cut, I have a sore, I have sunburn, I can use lavender. And so I carry lavender. And then I also have this one called Purification. And I love to take this with me when I'm traveling, because sometimes we kind of get worn down and you can feel like, oh, I've got a scratch in my throat, or, I'm just starting to feel not so good. And I put this, I'll put it around my ear opening. I don't ever put it inside my ear canal, and I'll put it around my nostrils so that when I'm breathing in, I'm kind of filtering whatever else is coming in with that. And then eucalyptus is great for anything respiratory. So if I've got a cough or I feel like I'm mucusy, this is really great to use for that. And you just put a couple of drops, breathe it in. It'll usually make you cough because your lungs are like, oh, wow, that feels different.
Well, and some of those rub-on things used to have eucalyptus in them too.
Or a menthol.
Or a menthol, yeah.
Yeah. And then Digest was one that I used a lot before, like these past couple of years. And it would just help if my stomach wasn't feeling well, if I felt nauseous, if I just, if I was just having any problems, Digest was really great.
And did you take it orally or did you rub it on?
So I can do both. I have done both. You can ingest them, and you can just also rub it topically. And like I said, with the eucalyptus, you can inhale that. So those are all ways that you can get the oils into your system. And then Raven is a really good one, like for headaches, neck strain, stuff like that. I'll put that on. And then Valor is also another one that's really good for pain. So these usually I put together.
Are all oils, I guess, safe to consume, to taste, to have?
So if you are just buying your stuff at Hobby Lobby, I will tell you no. Because you want to know where it's sourced. Again, you want to make sure what you're getting is what you think you're getting. So I feel very comfortable. Technically, this company has a product line that's labeled differently. It's the same oil, but it's labeled with a white label for ingestion. And a lot of those ones will be like oregano, a lot more of our spices that we think of to use as a spice. But oregano is a really great antibiotic. It's also a very hot oil. So when it's a hot oil, that means it can burn your skin, and you would want to dilute it. If you were to ingest it, you would want to make sure you wouldn't just put it in a tablet and take it. You'd want to have water and things like that. So you do need to kind of know a little bit about oils before you just say, well, I'm going to take me a bottle of oregano because I feel like I'm catching a cold.
Years ago, my sister sold cleaning supplies from a company that used thyme as one of their main, they were non-chemical.
Yeah.
And your house would smell like soup. But it had an antibacterial thing to it too. So and that's sort of similar to the oregano family too.
Yeah. And even marjoram, which we always think about, well, I'm going to throw it in with my spaghetti or, some sauce. And that's an excellent pain reliever. If something hurts somewhere and you rub marjoram on it, you're probably going to feel better pretty quickly. And that's the other thing that I really love about essential oils is that they work usually very quickly. Very quickly. And if that one didn't work, then you need to try a different one because there will be one that will work.
So, you've talked about digestion and you've talked, what else?
So let's see, what else have I used it for? Well, kind of to ward off for colds. You can have, make a hot toddy with another one that's called Thieves, and that's got some cinnamon stuff. And if you do that and have some of the lemon essential oil in there and drink that, that'll really help when you've got a cold. They have in here, you can use it for, all sorts of things. Let me see.
I can remember us having kids studying for a contest, and you were using it to help them focus.
Yes. And yeah, you can do that. There's just so many ways you can use the oils, even with babies. But of course, you always want to make sure to check how strong the oil is. And like I said, in my reference books, it'll say, this should be diluted for this age group. Or if they're an infant, you probably don't want to use that as much because they're very strong. They really are very strong oils. So you want to be careful about how you use them.
Even if you're using them in a diffuser.
So diffuser's probably okay because those are going to be small droplets that are in the air. And so that's not as potent as putting it on somebody's skin. But this one actually has a line that's called Kid Scents. And I actually like this one better. It's the Tummy Jize. I'll let you smell it. It smells different than the Digest. The Digest is kind of a harsh sniff.
This is a little pepperminty.
And that's a blend. And then this is a blend
peppermint's always
too.
good for an upset stomach. Yeah, it does smell much different.
Yeah, so you're like, "Ooh, that's a little bit harsh." And this has fennel in it, and it's got ginger in it, and it's it's formulated for an adult.
I couldn't make out all the different smells in that one, but the peppermint was. And I have used peppermint for headaches and things like that. Or
so it's good for headaches,
congestion.
For congestion. It's good for as a muscle reliever if you put it on. So that one oil has already been used several different ways.
Right. And some oils help for sleep.
Yes. Lavender is one that really helps with sleeping. I was just reading something recently and they said, put a lavender plant in your room. And I was just like, well, that's just smart. Because, plants take in our carbon dioxide to give off oxygen, and then it helps you with sleeping. Yeah. And so I was just like, yeah, where have I been that I haven't thought about that?
My son suffered from migraines, so I bought a rosemary plant and stuck in his room because it was supposed to be helpful for migraines. I don't know if it helped that much. But
well, you try these things and see what happens.
I thought, it can't hurt.
Yeah. Yes.
So, there can be different things. So if someone wanted to get started and, they want to just try a few things, what would be the first oils you think they should try?
I would get probably something that's pretty versatile, like the lavender, a peppermint. If you're looking for something specifically for a specific health issue, then you'd need to research what oils you would need for that. It's probably been over a year. I was out visiting my kids, bit on something, and I thought, I cracked I've chipped my tooth. I've done something. So luckily for me, I had clove with me, which was really great for my tooth. It helped with the pain on that and helped with any type of infection that would be going on. And that is a hot oil. But your mouth can usually take stuff pretty well, so I didn't dilute it too much. And then when I came back and he said, oh, yeah, you cracked it all the way down to the root. So I had to have that one extracted. But, clove, we think of it, well, that's a Christmas spice that we put in cakes and breads. And
I love the smell of clove.
but it's also a great antibiotic for you to use as well.
So, and you said mix it. So what do you mix it with?
So most of these you're going to want to use like 100% oil, like an olive oil.
So
could
just
probably
an over-the-counter olive oil would work?
Again, I would probably, but I'd want to make sure it's the better of the olive oils there, because even in our supermarket, we have oils that I wouldn't personally want to ingest. So you need to look at what you're comfortable with doing. And if you're diluting it with something that's not a good product, that's also going to affect its efficacy with you.
And I like a nut oil of some kind, would that work? An avocado
you could probably
oil?
do a coconut oil, avocado oil. Those would be good.
And so I guess for my personal thing, because I seem to have had a challenge with my couple of bottles of oil, how should you be storing these when you're not using them?
So I store these in my bathroom in a cupboard, and they're not sealed, and I don't have a problem with them. And so that's how I keep it. Most of the time they'd say not to have it in a humid place, so the bathroom may not be the best place to store them, but that's where I keep mine. I also have some of my oils that are labeled for food use in my kitchen, just in a little display, and I don't really use them in my foods. I don't think about that, but I do use them, so.
Cool. And I guess most importantly, because we couldn't cover everything.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted to get started and research and learn a little bit more, what are some good resources for them?
So you could probably look at the Young Living website. There are some reputable oil companies out there. They are more expensive, but you know what you're getting. So again, that's what I stress to you. And they have really great reference materials. So here's one on all sorts of issues in here. They even can be used for cancer, for so many things. And they have different ways you can put them on. You can use them for your endocrine system. Mm-hmm. And then what I liked a lot is that they have a book for animals. So if you have pets at home, and it's not just cats and dogs, they go into horses and
really?
Yeah. And you want to make sure that you're using those safely on those animals. So this was, I thought, I'm going to get this and read it and see what it was. And you can even use it like for your poultry. So I was like, wow, you can use this fish. Chapter 12 is on fish. So they have so many uses.
Think about a fish needing anything.
Well, but they get scale rot. I mean, they have stuff that goes wrong with them too. But yeah, so it's an amazing thing. And I love that I have this information and I can mix something up if I need to. I can buy it in a blend if they already have it. It used to be for allergies. You do lemon, lavender, peppermint, and I think it was rosemary. And you could diffuse that and that would help you with your allergies. And since then, they've come up with an allergy blend that has all of that in there so you don't have to mix it up. So, but they're useful for absolutely everything under the sun.
I have a friend who has a car diffuser because he travels a lot. Mm-hmm. And he has some special oil. I don't know if it's a blend or whatever that he puts in there to help him stay alert and invigorated and all as he drives.
That's a good idea. I wish more people, some of our truck drivers would do that too.
So I thought it was interesting that he had oil that, and it was just going to go through his ventilation system a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and then if you're doing caffeine, you're going to have the fall off the caffeine. You're going to have to stop somewhere because you had all that caffeine. And so, yeah, they're a really great resource. And this may not be for everybody, but it really is worth investigating. And you may find yourself on a different path.
Yeah. So this has been interesting. I've known you a long time, and I did not know about your use of pain medicine.
I know, isn't that terrible?
That's not who I've ever, Yeah, because you've always sort of been against medicines, extra medicines.
Yeah,
and that kind of stuff. So, and we did have a job where we hauled a lot.
Yes, we did.
We still do.
Not as much as it was, but yeah. And well, when I was a kid, they said I had that spine curvature. I don't think I do anymore, but I did. And so my back and then I was in a car accident and my back had been an issue for a really long time.
So I'm glad it's no longer an issue.
I know, isn't that cool?
Yes. So be sure to check out our blog. We'll put the name of these books on there, and maybe Joyce can write a little bit about some of her favorite oils and what they do. And come back next time, as we will have another episode that will have a topic that will interest your family.
Special thanks to our guest, Joyce Runyan, Essential Oil Aficionado, and Quay County Health Council Assistant Coordinator, and our host, Brenda Bishop, Quay County Health Council Coordinator.
Podcast crew, Director, Robert F. Hockaday. Producers, Robert F. Hockaday, Joyce Runyan. Camera Operator, Robert F. Hockaday. Second Assistant Operator, Joyce Runyan. Editor, Joyce Runyan. Music provided by David Morris. Funding for this podcast is provided by New Mexico Legislative Appropriation from Representative Jack Jackson. Brought to you by Quay County Health News. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Quay County Health. If you have content ideas, reach out to us at healthiqpodcast@gmail.com.
This podcast was created solely for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for advice from a healthcare or mental health professional.